most people, to the untrained eye, are going to sit here and say that this owner starved her dogs.
We're going to head up to that dog call right now. So we'll go out, we'll assess the situation.
I'm looking at these dogs look like garbage. I mean, that's just not. Did you see there's bags of food there?
She was very upset about losing all of her cats. She called me up a few times in tears.
I need my photos. I need to be able to paint this picture for the judge so that he sees what I see.
In a world where loyal companions await, one place stands as their beacon of hope. The Pet Resource Center of Hillsborough County, where you can adopt your very own superhero. Adopt a dog. Find your sidekick and unlock the power of unconditional love. Suit up, show up, and adopt today. For more information, visit hcfl.gov/pets.
Welcome to a meeting of your Planning Commission, the official local planning agency for the cities of Tampa, Temple Terrace, Plant City, and unincorporated Hillsborough County. The Planning Commission provides innovative leadership and long-range vision that contributes to the creation of a thriving, prosperous community that offers opportunity, fairness, and choice in how we live, move, learn, work, and play. For more information about the Planning Commission, please call 813-272-5940. Follow us on social media or visit our website at planhillsborough.org.
Welcome, everybody, to the March 9th, 2026 public hearing of the Planning Commission on City of Plant City Comprehensive Plan Amendments. We thank you for attending this meeting. Your comments and participation are encouraged. For those attending in person and wishing to speak on any agenda item, please sign the register at the rear of the room and turn off any devices that may be a distraction. To minimize feedback in the audio, all online participants in the meeting will be muted until it is their opportunity to speak. Planning commissioners should unmute themselves to indicate that they would like to speak. Please be sure to state your name at the beginning of your remarks for the benefit of the clerk. There will be an opportunity for members of the public to provide comments. When your name is called, you will be unmuted when it is your turn to speak. Please wait until the chair calls on you to begin speaking. State your name at the beginning of your comments and adhere to the time limits. If anyone has difficulties or is watching via HTV and would like to provide comments to be included in the record for the local government hearing, please email them to planner@plancom.org. For those of you who are not familiar with our process, the meeting will be conducted as follows. The agenda item will be introduced. Staff will give their presentation with a 15-minute time limit. The applicant will be given the opportunity to make a presentation with a 15-minute time limit. Following presentations, members of the public may address the Planning Commission when recognized by the chairman. Public comment will be heard for 3 minutes per person. The applicant will be afforded a 3-minute period for rebuttal or response. Planning commissioners will then ask questions. Public comment will be closed. Then upon a motion, a second and discussion, a vote will be taken. To all participants, please note that tonight's hearing concerns proposed changes to the comprehensive plan. Presentation should not include matters related to zoning applications and site plans that are not before the commission. Zoning conditions are not relevant to plan amendments and may not be considered by the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission's purview in making a recommendation is limited to consistency or inconsistency with the comprehensive plan. With that, I'd ask the clerk to please call roll.
Bowden.
Here.
Cardenas. Here. Kona.
Here.
Jameson.
Here.
Kugler. Linkos.
Here.
Lauk.
Here.
Sieben. Here. Sink.
Here.
Orton.
Here.
Barry.
Here.
Joseph.
Here.
You have a quorum, sir.
Thank you. All right. Our first and only agenda item is 2A, PCCPA 25-08, Comprehensive Plan Map Amendment 2502, 2508, 2600 East Sam Allen Road, and the presenter is Unica Mills.
Good evening, Unica Mills Planning Commission staff. I'm here to present PCCPA 2508, located at 2502, 2508, and 2600 East Sam Allen Road. This is a privately initiated plan amendment, small in scale. It's a little over 9 acres, and the applicant is requesting to change their future land use designation from Hillsborough County Residential 1 to Plant City Commercial. Here is a general location map. The subject site is located within the northeastern portion of Plant City along Sam Allen Road. It's also located within the Northeast Plant City Area Master Planning Area, as well as the Economic Opportunity Overlay. Here is an aerial of the site. The site is outlined in pink. We have Sam Allen Road just to the south, Park Road to the west. We have Wilder Road to the east. The blue jurisdictional boundary line is dashed here, with Plant City being to the west and to the east of that line. The aerial shows subject sites to the west as well as to the north as vacant. Those are properties that are owned by Hillsborough County School Board. Then we have a presence of single family to the east. And we have the newly built South Florida Hospital on the south side of Sam Allen Road. Here is the subject site looking north from Sam Allen Road, and this is looking toward, if you're familiar with Plant City, North Park Isles subdivision. This is another site subject, another photo of the subject site looking north again toward North Park Isles. This is looking west toward Paul Buckman Highway. The subject site is kind of out of frame to the right. And this is looking east toward Wilder Road. The subject site is off to the left. And again, this is the newly developed South Florida Hospital just to the south of the subject site. And this is a single-family residential that's representative of to the east of the subject site. And again, the site is located within the Northeast Plant City Area Master Plan. We updated the preferred land use scenario map in 2024. We designated this site as commercial. The vision map is adopted within the Plant City Comprehensive Plan and envisions that the northeast portion of Plant City develop in the manner of the vision. The subject site is also, again, within the economic opportunity overlay, which, when enacted, will allow consideration for higher density as well as intensity. This is the adopted future land use map. The subject site is shown in white because it has already been annexed within Plant City. However, it's not received a Plant City future land use classification as of yet. The underlying future land use classification of the site is Hillsborough County Residential 1. Other future land uses in the immediate area include Plant City Residential 6 in the yellow. And then we have Plant City Commercial in the red directly to the south, as well as light commercial office in this light pink color to the south, and then we have a presence of residential 20 also to the south in the dark brown. Some of the Hillsborough County future land uses in the immediate area include to the east, the light green here, and then we have a little pocket of residential 4 to the north along Wilder Avenue. Again, the applicant is proposing to change the future land use designation to Plant City Commercial. Under the adopted future land use of residential 1, the site can be considered for up to 9 dwelling units or over 107,000 square feet of commercial uses, of course, subject to locational criteria. Under the proposed commercial designation, the site may be considered for up to 31 dwelling units or over 150 square feet of commercial. The commercial designation would result in both an increase in density as well as commercial intensity. We did send this request out for agency review, did not receive any objections for the request. However, the school board did note that Marshall Middle as well as Plant City High are projected to be over capacity. While formulating our recommendation, Planning Commission staff did consider policies relating to the design of commercial sites. However, staff arrived at using policies on the preceding slide to find the requests consistent. Staff found the request to be consistent with policy 2.1.2, which speaks to locating commercial uses along arterials and collectors. Sam Allen Road is designated as a collector. Policy 2.4.1 speaks to supporting commercial activity centers. Objective 2.5 states to support hospitals as a major employment center. The request is also consistent with policies 2.6.1, 2.6.2, 2.6.3, and 7.1.4, which instructs Planning Commission staff in conjunction with Plant City staff to conduct vision studies, which we did last year, updating the Northeast Master Plan. And as noted earlier, both staffs worked in conjunction to do that. And the Northeast Master Plan sees this subject site as commercial. And finally, request supports objective 2.7 and 2.7.1, which speaks to having a cohesive strategy for annexations into Plant City, as well as future annexations should mirror the adopted vision map. Based on those considerations, Planning Commission staff recommends that the proposed map amendment be found consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of the Plant City Comprehensive Plan, and I stand for any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Is there an applicant presentation? Oop, come on down.
evening. Oh, I forgot something. My name is Catherine Coyle. I'm the Director of Planning for Boggs Engineering, representing Abacus Retail Development. I do have a very low-tech presentation because I had some major PC issues that died on me last week. So. Is this on? Okay. Oh, yay. I won't belabor too many points because Ms. Mills did an excellent job summarizing everything and was fantastic to work with through the process. Really quick, as I mentioned, Abacus Retail South Shore LLC is the applicant. Quick overview and of the request. Sorry. Thank you. As Ms. Mills noted, the location of the property, there are 3 parcels, 2502, 2508, and 2600 East Sam Allen. I've provided the folios. It was annexed in 2022, and it lies on the north side of Park Road. I'm sorry, the north side of Sam Allen between Park and Wilder. Existing conditions and surrounding area context. Just briefly, she already went through the different aerial, but I highlighted the hospital to the south and the streets. You'll notice that to the north, I believe, is that North Park Isles subdivision. There's a lot of residential that has gone in the county to the north and to the northwest. There's some additional planned to the northeast over in this area, and then scattered throughout. There is a large car dealership, Stingray Chevrolet, right here at the interchange with I-4 going up Park. Sam Allen is the first major east-west collector going north from the interstate. And this property, as the crow flies, is approximately 3/4 of a mile from the interchange. I think I have that backwards, but, oh, I'm sorry. Flood zone. According to the flood zone, it's actually in flood zone X, and I did speak to Ms. Mills about that as well. Her report notes that it's AE. There's a little piece right here that looks like it comes in. The property line actually is south of that. So the property actually has a flood zone of X. Looking at the existing future land use, it allows 1 dwelling unit per acre under Hillsborough County's Res 1 and a 0.25 FAR. The increase that we're asking for to the commercial in line with the Northeast Master Plan allows a 0.35, so it's only a change of a 0.1 FAR, which is approximately 42,000 square feet. 16 units per acre is much more than 1 per acre. However, there's an effective rate that actually gets populated because there's a 20% cap on residential in the Plant City Plan. So in fact, it comes out, as mentioned, to 31 units. And when you divide that over the 9.86 acres, it is an effective rate of only 3 units per acre. So it's only an increase of 2 units per acre compared to the current category. Looking at consistency with the comp plan and the master plan, you saw this map already. We're simply just trying to follow along with the master plan that was put into effect. This lies within the economic overlay, opportunity overlay, and it is that commercial north of the hospital along Sam Allen. As I mentioned, you can see even the plat lines here for all of the residential and some on this side. The hospital's right here. When you go up into this area, if you haven't been there, a lot of residential, a hospital, a lot of green land that hasn't been developed yet, and no commercial. There's literally nothing. Last week, we actually got a copy sent to us of the latest survey that was done for the plan update, and it was all the comments that came in. I think it was over 1,600 or so comments. I read only through the first few pages of it because it was a lot of comments, but one of the common themes was all the shopping is down on James Redmond. It's a long way south from here, so there's a lot of traffic. There's literally nothing up here for these folks, so which speaks to why it was expanded through the Northeast Master Plan. And that's really the intent here, is to provide some of those hospital support services where the old hospital was, surrounded by medical offices, surrounded by little restaurants. There's a lot of entrepreneurship in Plant City, if you spend any time there. A lot of small businesses, a lot of people run their own engineering firms, doctors' offices. So I kind of see also how this could support this new office area as well and create a whole new business center in this particular area. Looking at the policies themselves, I went through and highlighted some of the applicable portions of these policies, but I would like to highlight policy 8.1.3, specifically that it's very directive. It says give first priority to economic opportunities that are linked to existing economic assets. And the very first policy, the very first objective listed at the top, objective 2.5, notes that the major employment or regional attractor of Plant City, the hospital, is mentioned as one of them. So we believe that the objectives and the policy speak directly to this transition. Sorry if I'm out of order from what I gave you. Community benefits, I did want to show this aerial as well, which I mentioned earlier. You see the residential up here. There's the hospital I marked in blue, and there's the subject site. This is how far away that shopping area of James Redmond is. I work in Plant City every day now. I can tell you I go to that area every day to get lunch, or to stop at Lowe's, or to stop at Walmart, because I live in Seminole Heights and there's not much in Seminole Heights. I usually have to drive to Garrowwood. So I get a lot of stuff there, and it is a very busy area. And a lot of people are coming from the north. And the time that I've spent up in the north driving the streets, it is just mostly housing. And they really do need some support services, which we think this speaks to very well. And simply to wrap this up, looking at the comprehensive plan, we do believe we are consistent. It does support sustainable development goals in the comprehensive plan. Hopefully by building in that additional commercial and mixed use support services for the hospital and for the residential in the area, it'll reduce greenhouse gases, it'll reduce consumption of fossil fuels, which is in the plan as well. And then the implementation of this actually furthers the Northeast Master Plan. So we respectfully request you find to recommend for approval. And I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. All right. There was no one sign up for the public comment on this item, so I will turn it over to the commissioners for questions, comments, discussions. This one. Going once, going twice. Commissioner Jemison, I see you moving. Nope. All right. Then I will close the public comment on this one and open it up to motions from the commissioners on this one. Commissioner Jemison.
Motion to find PC CPA 25-08 consistent.
All right.
Second that motion.
All right. We have a motion of consistency finding by Commissioner Jemison, a second to that motion by Commissioner Bowden. Comments, thoughts, or questions from the commissioners before we take our vote? Not seeing any. Then would all signify their agreement by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? That motion carries unanimously. All right. That was our only business item for that public hearing, so I will adjourn the Plant City public hearing at 6:32 p.m., and I will read us into our Hillsborough County public hearing. Welcome to the March 9th, 2026 public hearing of Planning Commission on Hillsborough County Comprehensive Plan Amendments. We thank you for attending this meeting. Your comments and participation are encouraged. For those attending in person and wishing to speak on any agenda item, please sign the register at the rear of the room and turn off any devices that may be a distraction. To minimize feedback in the audio, all online participants in the meeting will be muted until it is their opportunity to speak. Planning commissioners should unmute themselves to indicate that they would like to speak. Please be sure to state your name at the beginning of your remarks for the benefit of the clerk. There will be an opportunity for members of the public to provide comments. When your name is called, you will be unmuted when it is your turn to speak. Please wait until the chair calls on you to begin speaking. State your name at the beginning of your comments and adhere to the time limits. If anyone has difficulties or is watching via HTV and would like to provide comments to be included in the record for the local government hearing, please email them to planner@plancom.org. For those of you who are not familiar with the process, the meeting will be conducted as follows. The agenda item will be introduced. Staff will give their presentation with a 15-minute time limit. The applicant will be given the opportunity to make a presentation with a 15-minute time limit. Following presentations, members of the public may address the Planning Commission when recognized by the chairman. Public comment will be heard for 3 minutes per person. The applicant will be afforded a 3-minute period for rebuttal or response. Planning commissioners will then ask questions. Public comment will be closed. Then upon a motion, a second, and discussion, a vote will be taken. To all participants, please note that tonight's hearing concerns proposed changes to the comprehensive plan. Presentation should not include matters related to zoning applications and site plans that are not before the commission. Zoning conditions are not relevant to plan amendments and may not be considered by the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission's purview in making a recommendation is limited to consistency or inconsistency with the comprehensive plan. And with that, I'd like to ask the clerk to please again call roll.
Bowden,
Present.
Cardenas,
Here.
Kona,
Here.
Jameson,
Here.
Kugler, Linkos,
Here.
Lauk,
Here.
Sieben, Sink,
Here.
Orton,
Here.
Barry,
Here.
Joseph.
Here.
You have a quorum, sir.
Thank you. All right, our first agenda item is 2A HCCPA 25-27 Comprehensive Plan Map Amendment, 5008 through 5044 Saffold Road Urban Service Area Expansion. And the presenter is Lillian Linehan.
Good evening, Commissioners. Lillian Linehan, Planning Commission staff, here to present HCCPA 2527, located at 5008 to 5044 Saffold Road. This is a publicly initiated map amendment that is small in scale and approximately 19.94 acres. It is a request to expand the urban service area, and this amendment is associated with HCCPA 2528, which is a request to change the future land use category from agricultural rural 1 to 5 to residential 4. This is the general location map. As previously mentioned, is associated with HCCPA 2528. It is in the rural area and within the limits of the South Shore Area-Wide Systems Plan and Waimama Village Plan. It is located north of Saffold Road and west of County Road 579. Here is an aerial of the site. The site is outlined in pink, and the blue line indicates the existing urban service area boundary. And I would like to note that the two parcels adjacent to the west of the subject site were a part of recent privately initiated map amendments, specifically HCCPA 2519 and 2520, to expand the urban service area and change the future land use to residential 4. And these amendments were approved by the Board of County Commissioners on January 15th, 2026. However, the maps in this presentation and the one for 2528 will not reflect that approval. So this is looking at the subject site along Saffold Road. This is looking across Saffold Road from the subject site. This is also looking across Saffold Road from the subject site. This is looking east from the subject site down Saffold Road. This is the parcel that is adjacent to the east of the subject site area. And this is looking west along the subject site from Saffold Road. The proposed amendment would bring approximately 19.94 acres into the urban service area, requiring at a minimum connection to public water and sewer. The proposed amendment received no formal objectives, but a full list of agency comments is included in the report package. And while formulating our recommendation, Planning Commission staff reviews all related policies regarding the proposed request. The following policies were considered by Planning Commission staff in the evaluation of the amendment. And Planning Commission staff found 4 main areas of consistencies. The proposal meets the intent of FLU's Objective 1.1 and FLU's Policy 1.1.9, which directs 80% of population growth into the urban service area and establishes criteria for publicly and privately initiated urban service area expansion amendments. In this case, the subject site is adjacent and contiguous to the established urban service area. Additionally, the site is adjacent to publicly initiated amendments that the Board of County Commissioners directed staff to initiate, and the request meets all the required criteria in FLU's Policy 1.1.9. FLU's Objective 3.1 and Policies 3.1.1 and 3.1.2 determine compatibility and gradual transitions of intensities and densities between different land uses. The residential 4 land use designation surrounds the site, and there are low-density residential developments on all sides. The transition to residential 4 with an expansion of the urban service area would allow for density and intensity that is compatible with the existing area. FLU's Objective 4.4 and Policy 4.4.1 seek to protect existing neighborhoods and communities and those that will emerge in the future. The request is consistent with these policies, objectives and policies, as the surrounding land use pattern is comprised of single-family residential and agricultural uses. South of Saffold Road, there are mainly public and quasi-public and institutional uses, and the proposed request complements the existing community character and development pattern. The proposal also meets Goal 5 of the Waimama Village Community Plan. Goal 5 of the plan seeks to encourage housing to accommodate a diverse population and range of income levels. The expansion of the urban service area and change of the future land use to residential 4 increases the type of housing allowed on the subject site, as well as allows for smaller lot sizes, which can be more affordable for the residents of the Waimama Village area. Planning Commission staff recommends that the proposed map amendment be found consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of the unincorporated Hillsborough County Comprehensive Plan. This concludes my presentation. I'm here if you have any questions.
Thank you. And that's publicly initiated, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. No one signed up in the public comment for this one, so I will turn it over to planning commissioners for questions, discussion. Commissioner Kona.
This might be a dumb question, but is the landowner, the public, is Hillsborough County own this land?
No, but
Okay.
all of the property owners were notified
Okay.
Twice before the hearing, and the signs were all
Okay,
posted
thank
out there.
All right. Any other questions or comments? I did have a quick one. FLUS, F-L-U-S, is that future land use section? Have we gone away from elements now? Huh, so everything gets an S now instead of an E.
Yeah, when the plan was updated,
Huh.
it was changed to sections.
Man, nobody told me I like the E. That's all right, though. All right, Commissioner Lauk.
Parceling through your response to Commissioner Kona, the landowner, has not responded to any of the communications?
We had people, like, it was certified mail, so they did have to sign and say that they received it, but no one had any objections or questions for us.
And this is publicly initiated because the adjacent parcels have been brought into
So,
the USA?
yes, I'll just go back to the aerial really quick just so I can explain it a little bit better. There was a couple of publicly initiated amendments in a previous cycle in 2025 that brought all of the WVR2 in this area, which is where you see the current blue line, into the urban service area, and changed the future land use to residential 4. And then those 2 adjacent parcels, it left about, I think this is 6 total parcels that were not included. Those 2 adjacent parcels were privately initiated, and when those came in, we decided to publicly initiate these last 4. So the boundary was along Saffold Road to make the original publicly initiated amendments a little more cohesive in this area.
Okay, good background, thank you. From a property owner standpoint, can you briefly walk through what you perceive as pros and cons of having this in the USA?
I believe because they're so close now to what was the WVR2, it was changed in, and there was 2 parcels adjacent to them that were included. These property owners were left out because they had a different future land use, and they weren't included in that publicly initiated amendment. It now gives them more just ability to be able to develop their property and improve it in a way that they would like to with the residential 4. These are like a smaller lot that you would see in this area, so if they wanted to subdivide it and put a potential accessory dwelling unit or another home on there, that they could now.
Are there negative tax implications?
Not that I'm aware of, but I did not really look into that, just because of how close it is to the previous publicly initiated amendments.
Ms. Zornita has some wisdom.
Yeah.
Well, just to add that in the past, the property appraiser has indicated they do not make any valuations based on the future land use category. They look more at the zoning and the existing land use of it and how it's actually utilized. And the county does not require, when you go into the urban service area, any automatic hookup to utilities. It would only occur if they were to subdivide.
You preempted my next question.
All right. Didn't they also put some sort of waiver or something for the amount of subdivision that's required to, so that if you're a small lot owner and you just wanted to like have your kids live on your property or something, it wouldn't?
Yeah, you can now go back to doing up to 3 lots without connecting. Yeah.
Commissioner Orton?
Just for the record, Morgan High School, that's listed on here at 53%. This next coming year will be adding the 4th year of high school. Right now it's just 9 through 11. And then also on this same, well, to the north of this property, but the property owner of all that, we are purchasing at this time a site for an elementary school. And then just north of that to the east, we are purchasing property for either a middle school or a K through 8. So lots of room.
All right. Any other questions, comments, discussion points from the commissioners? All right. I'm not seeing any. I'll go on ahead and close the public comment on this one and open it up to motions from the commissioners on this item. Anyone? Commissioner Kona.
Motion to find HCCPA 2527 consistent with the comprehensive plan.
All right, we have a motion to consistency finding from Commissioner Kona. Is there a second anywhere out there? Commissioner Linkus?
Second.
All right. I have a motion to consistency finding by Commissioner Kona, a second to that motion by Commissioner Linkus. Are there any questions or comments from the commissioners before we take our vote? Not seeing any, then would all signify their agreement by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion carries unanimously. All right, our next agenda item is the other part to this. Item 2B, HCCPA 25-28, Comprehensive Plan Map Amendment 5,000. Was the first one a text amendment, or are they both map amendments? Because it says map amendment in my little book here. First one was a text amendment, though.
Actually, the procedures manual was changed to make urban service area amendments, map amendments.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. HCCPA 25-28 Comprehensive Plan Map Amendment 5008 through 5044 Saffold Road. And the presenter is Lillian Linehan.
Good evening, Commissioners. Lillian Linehan, Planning Commission staff, here to present HCCPA 2528, located at 5008 to 5044 Saffold Road. This is a publicly initiated map amendment that is small in scale and approximately 19.94 acres. The applicant is requesting to change the future land use from agricultural rural 1 to 5 to residential 4. This amendment is associated with HCCPA 2527, which is a request to expand the urban service area. This is the general location map. As mentioned in the last slide, it is associated with HCCPA 2527. It is in the rural area and within the limits of the South Shore Area-Wide Systems Plan and Waimama Village Community Plan. It is located north of Saffold Road and west of County Road 579. Again, here's the aerial of the site. The site is outlined in pink, and the blue line indicates the existing urban service area boundary. The site currently has single-family uses on the property, with agricultural to the northwest and further southeast. There are also single-family uses to the northeast and west, and there are a few public, quasi-public institutional uses to the south and east of the site. Again, these are the photos. They're the same as the previous presentation, so I'll just go through them really quickly. Currently, the future land use designation is agricultural rural 1 to 5. This category allows for 1 dwelling unit per 5 gross acres and a maximum floor area ratio of 0.25. This designation allows for the consideration of farms, ranches, feedlots, residential, neighborhood, commercial, offices, industrial uses related to agricultural uses, and mining-related activities. Other future land use categories shown in this map include natural preservation and residential 4. And while we are on this map, as previously mentioned, those 2 adjacent parcels that are showing as agricultural rural 1 to 5 on this map were recently approved for residential 4 with an urban service area expansion. The applicant is proposing to amend the future land use category to residential 4. The residential 4 category allows for 4 dwelling units per gross acre and a maximum floor area ratio of 0.25. This designation allows for the consideration of agricultural, residential, neighborhood, commercial, office uses, and multi-purpose projects. Currently, under the agricultural rural 1 to 5 future land use category, the site could consider up to 3 dwelling units or 217,146 square feet of non-residential uses. And under the proposed future land use designation of residential 4, the site could consider up to 79 dwelling units or 217,146 square feet of non-residential uses. The proposed amendment would allow for the consideration of increased residential density and would not increase the potential of commercial intensity. The proposed amendment received no formal objections, and a full list of all comments is included in the overall packet for this amendment. While formulating our recommendation, Planning Commission staff reviews all related policies regarding the proposed request. The following policies were considered by Planning Commission staff in the evaluation of the amendment. Planning Commission staff found 4 main areas of consistency. The proposal meets the intent of FLU's Objective 1.1 and Policy 1.1.9. In this case, the subject site is adjacent and continues to the established urban service area and the residential 4 land uses. The site is also adjacent to the publicly initiated amendments that the Board of County Commissioners directed staff to initiate, and the request meets all the criteria outlined under Objective 1.1 and Policy 1.1.9. According to FLU's Objective 3.1 and Policies 3.1.1 and 3.1.2, compatibility and gradual transitions of intensities and densities between different land uses shall be provided for as new development is proposed. The residential 4 future land use designation surrounds the site and there are low-density residential developments on all sides. The transition to residential 4 on the subject site with an urban service area expansion would allow for density and intensity that is compatible with the existing area. The proposal meets the cultural / historic and economic development goals of the South Shore area-wide systems plans. These goals seek to promote sustainable growth and development that is clustered and well planned to preserve the area's environment, cultural identity, and livability, and to analyze, identify, and market lands that are available for economic development, including residential, commercial, office, industrial, and agricultural. The amendment is consistent with these goals as the proposed change will cluster potential development on the north side of Saffold Road, while preserving the existing agricultural and natural land uses to the south of Saffold Road and further in east and west of the site. This also targets areas suitable for residential economic development. The proposal meets Goal 5 of the Waimama Village Community Plan. This goal seeks to encourage housing to accommodate a diverse population and range of income levels, the expansion of the urban service area, and change to residential 4, future land use on the site, increases the type of housing allowed on the subject site, as well as allows for housing on a smaller lot size, which can be more affordable for the residents in the Waimama Village Plan area. Planning Commission staff recommends that the proposed map amendment be found consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of the unincorporated Hillsborough County Comprehensive Plan. This concludes my presentation. I'm here if you have any questions.
All right. We had about, looks like 60 people sign up in the public comment for this one. I'm just joking. We didn't have anyone sign up in the public comment for this one either, so I will turn it over to the commissioners for questions, comments, discussions on this one. Not seeing any, and I will go on ahead and close the public comment on this one and open it up to motions from the commissioners. Commissioner Jemison.
Motion to find HC CPA 25-28 consistent with the comprehensive plan map amendment.
Second.
All right, we have a motion of consistency finding by Commissioner Jemison, a second to that motion by Commissioner Lauk. Are there any questions, comments, statements from the commissioners before we take our vote on this one? Not seeing any, then we'll all signify their agreement by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? That motion carries unanimously. All right, thank you very much. And that is it for our Hillsborough County public hearing. We cannot start our City of Tampa public hearing till 7:30, so we will adjourn for about 40 minutes here or so until 7:30, and then we will be back at 7:30 for our City of Tampa public hearing. So at 6:51 p.m., this public hearing for Hillsborough County is adjourned. We are adjourned. Sorry. Welcome, everyone, to the March 9th, 2026 second and final public hearing of the Planning Commission on City of Tampa redistricting. We thank you for attending this meeting. Your comments and participation are encouraged. For those attending in person and wishing to speak, please sign the register at the rear of the room and turn off any devices that may be a distraction. To minimize feedback in the audio, all online participants in the meeting will be muted until it is their opportunity to speak. Planning commissioners should unmute themselves to indicate that they would like to speak. Please be sure to state your name at the beginning of your remarks for the benefit of the clerk. There will be an opportunity for members of the public to provide comments. When your name is called, you will be unmuted when it is your turn to speak. Please wait until the chair calls on you to begin speaking. State your name at the beginning of your comments and adhere to the time limits. If anyone has difficulties or is watching via HTV and would like to provide comments to be included in the record for the local government hearing, please email them to planner@plancom.org. For those of you who are not familiar with our process, the meeting will be conducted as follows. The agenda item will be introduced. Staff will give their presentation with a 15-minute time limit. Members of the public may address the Planning Commission when recognized by the chairman. Public comment will be heard for 3 minutes per person. Planning commissioners will then ask questions. Public comment will be closed. Then upon a motion, a second, and discussion, a vote will be taken. With that, I'd like to ask the clerk to please go ahead and call roll.
Bowden,
Here.
Cardenas, Kona,
Here.
Jameson,
Here.
Kugler, Linkos,
Here.
Sieben, Lauk,
Here.
Sink,
Here.
Orton,
Here.
Barry,
Here.
Joseph.
Here.
You have a quorum, sir.
Thank you. All right. Our first and only item is item 2A, City of Tampa redistricting 2026, and the presenter is Yasser Gonzalez.
This is Yasser Gonzalez, Planning Commission staff. Item 2A. This is an action item. The title of the item is City of Tampa Redistricting, second and final public hearing. You've seen this presentation before. We just added a couple slides related to staff recommendation, and also we wrapped up some pending items such as the online preference form results that we're going to again give you the final results. This is the agenda. We're going to give you a brief timeline of the project. Why are we upsetting all these people? Eco population. We're going to show you the alternatives. The outreach effort. We're going to try to describe the comprehensive outreach effort. We're going to give the survey results, the staff recommendation, and any remaining deadlines. These deadlines do not apply to you. It applies to staff and the Supervisor of Elections Office. So we started in October 2025. We're now in March, second and final public hearing. The remaining items are the proclamation by the Supervisor of Elections after your approval of one of the alternatives. And we go back to the City of Tampa to inform them of the new boundaries. Why? Why are we redistricting? We do it every 4 years because it's required by law. There's laws of Florida, but there are also two specific sections within the city charter for the City of Tampa. Sections 2.01 and 8.03 specifically address this process. It is required every 4 years. The next election is March 2nd, 2027. So about a year before each election, we'll be in front of you, or somebody here will be in front of you, giving you the ability to approve one of the alternatives. And of course, being a demographer, 20,000 people have moved to Florida since 2020. So again, a bit of rearrangement of the furniture, if you will, is needed. Equal population is our guiding principle. We follow the U.S. Constitution. We follow Supreme Court cases. We do not take into account voting age population to make a redistricting decision or population by race. We are sensitive to concerns within Tampa residents of, again, minority representation in city council. So we are sensitive to that. But our alternatives reflect the equal population principle. We use something called range as a percentage of the mean. It's a fancy term which we shorten to the range. It expresses a percentage. But again, what we need to do is reduce that percentage from whatever it is now, around 8 point something, to 5%. And we use the latest and greatest census product as of the time of the project, when the project started, which was the American Community Survey 2023, 5 years. Again, we are trying to reduce that range from 8.36 to 5 to or less than 5. So we're moving the precincts from the most populous council district, which is Council District 7, according to census data, to the least populous council district, which is Council District 5, again, according to census data. We only have a finite number of moves. We discussed it with y'all in a workshop back in October of 2025. There are legal limitations, physical limitations, temporal limitations, you name it. So again, this is a very complicated, play that we have to do in order to come up with the alternatives. And we came up with 4. So for those at home, and for those of you that may not be familiar with, the council districts in Tampa, there are actually 7 council seats, but only 4 of those are tied to a geography. You start with Council District 4, which covers South Tampa. Then you move east to Council District 5. And, if you go west towards the airport and West Shore, you're in Council District 6. And the USF and New Tampa area are covered by Council District 7. Again, the most populous, according to census data, is Council District 7, and the least populous is Council District 5. So our goal is to move some precincts. We move the whole voting precinct from Council District 7 to Council District 5 in order to reduce the range from 8.36% to less than 5. This table, you've seen it before, tons of numbers, but only a couple of insights from here. First of all, you see the range is 8.36% right there in red. Every alternative that we've proposed reduces that to less than 5, so they're all valid from that perspective. Now, if you want to do the math in your head, for those of you that are more number inclined, it's about 101,000 people per council district. So when we move forward 5,000 people, we're moving a couple percentage points, again, if you want to do the math. So we're going to go quickly over the alternatives. Again, you've seen this before in the previous month, and also you saw that in January. The first alternative moves 3 precincts, 151, 169, and 342. 151 moved from Council District 6 to Council District 4. 169 moved from Council District 5 to Council District 6. And 342 moves from Council District 7 to Council District 5. And here's a map. Here's a table that once we make those 3 moves, we obtain our lowest range at 1.9%. So we come from 8 to 1.9. So again, it passes less than 5. It passes the validity test. These are the map. This is the map, the first close-up map. So you can see 342 is north, is north of Bush Boulevard there, and so it's in the northern part of Council District 5. 169 is around Cypress Street there, and 151 is it kind of reaches out from Council District 6. So we've been meaning to fix this alternative for a while, but again, it's something that, again, there's all trade-offs. This is what it looks like when you zoom out, so that you can give you a kind of whole city picture. Okay. The second alternative is the simplest alternative, only 1 precinct. This is the least disruptive alternative. 345 moves from Council District 7, which we've told you is the most populous council district, to Council District 5, which, again, according to census data, is the least populous, moving around 5% or 4% there, 5,000 people. That's what we're moving. And when you do that, Council District 5 becomes the most populous right away. And the range is reduced to 3.97. So you shave up around 4% of the range, which is great. And again, only 1 precinct, you can see it there. It's also north of the current Council District 5 boundaries. It's around, north of Bush Boulevard, between 30th and 15th there, for those of you that are, city residents. So this is a zooming out alternative 2. Quickly, alternative 3. We're moving 3 precincts here, but as I said before, cannot 2, and I'll show you in the map, 249 and 250 cannot go together. They are the Forest Hills neighborhood. They move from Council District 7 to Council District 6, Because you move to Council District 6, now you need to give up a precinct, and that will be 320, which goes from Council District 6 to Council District 5. And again, it reduces to the second highest range at 3.78. So again, 249 and 250, you've seen them before. They are the oddly shaped because the city boundary is right there. And then also, again, the Forest Hills neighborhoods. So again, those two gotta come together. And 320, of course, once you load up this Council District 6, it needs to give up a precinct, and it gives up precinct 320. This is when you zoom out. Lastly, alternative 4, 3 precincts, 141, 207, and 345 are all moving under this alternative. 141 moved from Council District 6 to Council District 4, 207 from 5 to 6, and 345. Yes, you've heard that right. That's also from alternative 2. It's the same precinct moving from 7 to 5. But because we're moving more precincts along with 345, we obtain the second lowest range at 1.95%. This is what it looks like, the close-up map. Again, 345 is north of Bush Boulevard and between 15th and 30th there. Then 207 is north of Main Street and around Armenia there. And then 141 is around, Swan, Morrison, Kennedy Boulevard. We deployed a comprehensive outreach strategy. Letters were sent to stakeholders, council members, NAACP, Hispanic Services Council. Briefings were provided to council members individually and collectively, and they helped us by amplifying this and blasting them in the newsletter. So people that would have subscribed to the newsletter saw this. Over 3,000 emails target directly to high-frequency voters, neighborhood associations, and political parties. If you had a presence in Hillsborough County as a political party, we were able to find you. We send you an email letting you know. Nearly 1,700 projects, site visits, 170 completed preference forms. Alternative 2 is the most preferred once you do the weighting and everything. 6 public open houses. These are not required by law. Only 2 things are required by law, which is the 2 hearings. The open houses, we follow a tradition of engaging the public, and we have always done at least 6 of them. So this is the second time I'm doing this, and we've done 6. Over 100 participants. We were blessed to have a lot of people really interested in this. More than 3,000 impressions through social media, so we actually paid ads. So if you were within a mile, if you had your location on and crossed within a mile of one of these precincts, you were targeted. And you were looking at IG, or you're looking at Facebook, or you're looking at LinkedIn, you were targeted for the social media ads. So that's what happened. We had to advertise legally. This hearing was advertised legally in 3 newspapers, and so were the previous one. We have also several print and televised media interviews. We have benefited tremendously from the controversies surrounding the district. We were able to harness that for good in order to get people interested in this. And again, we were also invited to a number of community organization meetings, such as Good Trouble Tampa, West Tampa CDC, etc. Public ranking alternatives. Once again, for those of you that may be newer, this is not a referendum. This is not an election. So these are just preference expressed for our staff, to take into account, and for you to take into account in your decision matrix. Now, the gray table there shows the actual votes. Then this is where we weighted. Why are we weighting these results? Because it's a preference. You say, I would like alternative 2 is my most preferred, so I put 1 there. Then alternative 4 will be my second most preferred. That's why you have to weigh them out. When you do the calculations, and again, all the numbers are there for you to come up with the numbers in the chart, the alternative 2 is by far the most preferred, that either rank second or first most consistently. Staff recommendation. We are keeping it simple this year. Precinct 345, alternative 2, is the only one that we're recommending for approval in front of this body. Why are we doing this? Because again, we've been telling you, Council District 7 is most populous. Council District 5 is least populous. So, and they have a border. Let's just move the precinct. And this precinct achieves the goal of reducing that range from 8 to less than 5%. So that's it. Least disruptive. There's a lot of upheaval right now. So we want to keep things calm and keep going. Now, the other thing is that people love this alternative. They consistently ranked it highest. And also, we receive people. You saw the gentle lady here last time giving, saying that she wanted this option to go forward and to be approved. And all the comments we receive are positive. We receive no negative comments in terms of 345. All the other alternatives we have received pluses and minuses in terms of comments. So again, this is what it does. 3.97, this is the table. You've seen this is the second time you see this table now. Again, the map. Again, 345 from Council District 7 to Council District 5. Just moving there, and this is when you move up. Again, this affects the least amount of people. So again, if you are a voter going to precinct 345, you're going to continue to vote in the same place. All you're going to see is that the council members in which you're going to be voting come March 2027 are going to be different than the last time you voted. Next key dates. These dates do not apply to you. This is your last date. It is your final hearing. So this applies to staff and the supervisor elections. By April 1st, we need to have the proclamation in supervisor elections. We have Ms. Kramer here to answer any questions if need be. And in September is where we need to go before September 3rd to the city of Tampa to give them an update. That's it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. We had a couple people sign up in the public comment for this one. So I will start with the one individual who signed up virtually. Is Michael Randolph on the line?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead, sir. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you so much. My name is Michael Randolph, and I'm speaking on behalf of the West Tampa Community Development Corporation. As we approach the upcoming redistricting vote, our community is unified behind one conclusion. Alternate 2 is the only map that protects political power, black power, while maintaining every legal requirement. Alternate 2 makes the smallest change possible, moving this one precinct 345 to Tampa terms. It does not touch West Tampa or East Tampa. It does not split the Brewer Baptist community, one of the strongest black voting blocks in the city. It keeps the David Blackstone Senior Center voters together, preserving trusted relationship with council representatives. And it keeps churches unified instead of scattering congregations across multiple districts. Alternate 1, 3, and 4 moves 3 districts. Alternate 1 splits the rural community across 3 districts. Alternate 3 disrupts the Latino and Black coalition. Alternate 4 uproots more than 10,000 residents and moves reliable Black seniors from the Blackstone Center. It's why we think alternate 2, which earned the most votes, is the best option. Residents from West Tampa, East Tampa, and Tampa Terrace agree. This map keeps up the community whole, stable, and representative. And finally, alternate 2 also has a positive impact on District 4 through 7. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Next up, we have 3 individuals in person, and I will start with Rashima McCoy.
Good evening. My name is Rishma McCoy, and I'm in the Sulphur Springs area, and I also sit on the Sulphur Spring Board of the Action League. And we are in favor of option 2, alternative 2. So I'm not going to keep your time up too much. We just want to keep it simple. We also welcome precinct 345. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Fran Tate.
Good afternoon, board members. Good evening. I am Fran Tate, and I'm happy to be here this evening. I see familiar faces in the room, and I want to thank you also very much for your presentations. I know it took a lot of time and effort, a lot of your evenings spent coming out and explaining all of the maps to us. We had a lot of questions, very intense, and I know it wasn't easy, but we really want to understand everything about the maps and redistricting, because to some of us it was the very first time we participated in such a very, very important decision in our neighborhoods. So I am Fran Tate, and I am the founder and the president of Jackson Heights Neighborhood Association. I started with a community crime watch over 20 years ago in Jackson Heights, and it took off and just kept growing and growing, and it developed into a neighborhood association. We are 35 homeowners and their families, and we're very, very active in the community. We've even won several awards through the county and the city, and we just appreciate everyone so very much for recognizing us. We're very active at city council and the school board. We've even come to the county meetings sometimes. Tonight I just want to talk about the redistricting maps. We came to the meeting that was at the city center, and we studied and we asked a lot of questions. And my members and several other members in the room were concerned about Beulah Baptist, and they were concerned about the upcoming museum that I think Commissioner Myers is trying to construct over in the West Tampa area. So we decided that alternate map number 2, I think it's alternate map number 2, was the one that we decided was the best map. Even though when I look at some of the math on here, I thought maybe we were losing some of our voting power, but I side along with the majority of the community because I am the president, but I represent the community that voted me into my seat. And that is what they decided, that they want to go along with map number 2. And also First Church of God, we welcome them into the district. And we just want to enjoy everything and want to work with everybody, and we want to train everybody and activate everybody to get out and vote, please. Thank you so very much for your time. I am Fran Tate.
Thank you. All right. Last but not least, we have Delphine Jones. Delphine.
Good afternoon. My name is Delphine Jones. I'm with West Tampa CAC Advisory Committee. Although I'm not represented in all of them, I also am a vice president of West Riverfront Crime Watch Group. So my area is right by the University of Tampa. Beulah Baptist is in that area, First Baptist. And we want to keep that as a voting area because that's the most popular. I was concerned about East Tampa and West Tampa diminishing black votes. Because Tampa's getting so heavily populated now. So it kind of, to do anything else but alternative 2 would diminish the black votes in East Tampa and West Tampa, the highest populated of black people in the area. Just pigging back off of what Michael Randolph explained. And that's it. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Gonzalez. You get a 3-minute period for response if you wanted to say anything. No? All right. You said enough, huh? You're done. All right. I will turn it over to the commissioners then at this point for deliberations, questions, comments, thoughts on all of this. See Commissioner Lauk moving.
Just want to say compliments to staff on a job well done. I know it's a Herculean effort every few years when you take this up. So well done, well explained, and I appreciate it.
That's a big kudos there. Commissioner Lauk was one who needed a little convincing at the start of this thing, so that's a slam dunk for you, yes sir. All right. Are there any other questions, thoughts, or comments from the commission? Commissioner Bowden.
Well, I want to commend the staff as well, because I do move around the community where some of those changes were positioned, or they would discuss it. And from your outreach and everything, I see that people feel a lot better about the alternatives, and the actual final option 2 was the one that a lot of people actually see as the best choice, the minimum disruption and changes. So congratulations.
All right. I did have a quick question actually for you, sir, just a curiosity on my part. When we do this again next time, it's only if it goes above 5% do we have to make changes, right? If 4 years go by and none of them are above the 5% threshold, then we don't necessarily have to make changes again, correct?
We do still have to announce that, we did the calculations.
Right.
And then we just go and announce that,
there's no changes necessarily. Okay.
Yeah, but we do have to go through the
process.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Are there any other comments, discussion items? Not seeing any, then I will close the public comment on this one and open it up to the commissioners for motions on this item. Commissioner Kona.
Yeah, motion to approve alternate map 2 as the approved City of Tampa redistricting map.
Commissioner Loud.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve alternative number 2 by Commissioner Kona, a second to that approval by Commissioner Lauk. Are there any comments, statements from the commissioners before we take our vote? And we'll all signify their agreement by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion carries unanimously. All right, great work, Mr. Gonzalez. Thank you again. All right, and that is it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. At 7:57 p.m., this public hearing is adjourned.